It's Boxing Insider Radio.
How dare them even to challenge me, these fighters, with their primitive boxing skills. You know what I mean? They're as good as dead.
I'm going to show you how great I am.
It's about how much you can take and keep moving forward.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
Boxing Insider Radio, bringing you the very best in boxing from around the world. The next frontier of Boxing Insider is upon us, and it's an insider's perspective on the sport we all love.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Heavyweight Championship edition of BoxingInsider.com radio. I am the owner of BoxingInsider.com, Larry Goldberg. I'm here along with decorated amateur boxer and former pro fighter and trainer, Jose Guzman. Jose, welcome back to the show.
What's up? What's up?
And I'm sitting next to decorated amateur standout Henry DeLeon.
Yo, what's up?
And joining us on the phone is the one and only
Mr.
Curtis.
Cash Out.
Curtis
Spice Jones.
Curtis, are you there?
Yo, Curtis.
I'm right here, baby.
Curtis.
Happy birthday, Curtis.
Happy birthday,
Curtis.
6 months ago, Andy Ruiz shocked the boxing world when he stopped Anthony Joshua to become the WBA, IBF, WBO, IBO Unified Heavyweight Champion. This Saturday night from Saudi Arabia, Anthony Joshua gets his chance at redemption in a match that's being called the Clash at the Dunes. The rematch between Andy Ruiz Jr. and Anthony Joshua will take place in the afternoon on Saturday, December 7th, from the Diriyah Arena in Saudi Arabia. The broadcast will start at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, with the main event between Ruiz and Joshua expected to happen somewhere around 4 p.m. This fight will be aired on DAZN in the U.S. and Sky Sports pay-per-view in the U.K. All right, guys, so we got to break down this fight. What do you guys think is going to happen? Jose?
Listen,
Joshua gets stopped again.
Ruiz is going to stop Joshua.
Again.
Ruiz is going to stop Joshua. I believe in the later rounds.
Well, we'll get to all that.
Yeah, I believe in the later rounds, though.
So how do you guys see this fight going on Saturday night?
Listen, it's going to...
I see Joshua coming out very, very strong in the first round. Once Ruiz handles that first barrage, I think it's all downhill from here on out. No chin, no heart.
I think Joshua's going to actually respect him a little bit this time. He's going to come out, take his time, and he's going to be looking for that. He's going to be looking for his distance, and he's going to try to catch him with a big right hand or a big hook. But I think he's going to respect him more this time around.
No, I definitely feel he's going to come out a bit strong. I think he's going to feel like he has something to prove in this fight, and he's going to come out pretty much looking for that knockout first round. I just feel that with more preparation to prepare for this fight for Andy Ruiz, Joshua's fighting a more dangerous fighter this time around, and therefore I don't think it's gonna be a good night for Anthony Joshua.
Now both these guys are slim and trim and probably in the best physical shape I've ever seen them in. How does that change the fight that we're
Listen,
seeing?
I think it doesn't change anything at all. But I thought Ruiz, it's like Holyfield said, he didn't think that Ruiz should have lost all that weight, that he should have kept it on. I mean, I think it's not going to make a difference, but we're still going to get the same outcome no matter what.
I agree. I think that, again, it won't make a difference because I think Joshua's problem going into this fight is more psychological than it is physical, and therefore... yeah, it won't have an effect. It's going to end up being the same outcome.
Joshua skipping down the yellow brick road, the Tin Man looking for a heart. Eddie Hearns can't help him. Listen, no chin, no heart. Listen, I have zero respect for Anthony Joshua. He quit. I don't respect fighters that quit.
You see his face?
Quit.
His face in that first fight? Oh, man.
Well, actually,
the sport is so biased.
Ruiz said to Anthony Joshua's face in a media event in the UK that he quit. So
he quit.
Victor definitely did.
When Victor Ortiz quit, the public ridiculed him.
Yes.
Why is the public not ridiculing Anthony Joshua? Because he's British and he's a nice guy. He drinks tea. I don't care.
Listen, he spit out his mouthpiece. They put it back in. You seen it in his face. He was telling the referee, "Save me."
Basically,
save me. That's what he's like. Don't throw me back out there.
And
with
he
that
did look a
young
little
lion.
bit. He did look pleased when the referee stopped that fight. Like we've seen fights get stopped before, and where fighters are basically offended. He did not fight it at all.
He didn't do the Andrew Galata and push the mouthpiece in his trainer's mouth, but he sure enough he quit, man.
Well, real quick, Andy Ruiz talked about the rematch with Sky Sports.
Of course, right now it's just visualizing the whole fight and preparing whatever we got to do December 7th. I know AJ's coming with the big plan and A game, so it's my job to stop it. So, best man wins. I still respect the man, and, it's just my job to win.
Ruiz, he expects Joshua, to come out strong. He's expecting a better opponent, Joshua already knows what he thinks is gonna work against Ruiz, but it's like Ruiz is ready for whatever Joshua brings to the table, and it's like I said. Listen, go ahead.
He can't go outside and fight a different fight. Trying to stand on the outside and outbox him is a big mistake.
It's not gonna work.
Ruiz is a very good counterpuncher, and Joshua, you're not the master boxer. You're a very stiff, stand-up straight European fighter.
Listen,
you have to go forward.
Ruiz is gonna be coming over the top all night, and he's gonna end up catching Joshua. Joshua's gonna be straight up like he always is. He's gonna be bouncing around. He's gonna get tired. When he gets tired, because he usually gets tired, he's too muscular. He's gonna get tired, and he's gonna get caught. And
again, I go back to what I said before. This time around, Ruiz has had time to properly prepare for this fight. He knows what Joshua is like inside that ring. I believe that in the last fight, it was a 3-week notice before he got called in for this fight. Was that so?
Yeah, it was.
So now imagine you have an Andy Ruiz who basically had 3 weeks to prepare for a fight against somebody he didn't know. Now he's going into a fight with someone who he's been in that ring with now, and he's had proper time to prepare for this fight. He's a more dangerous fighter.
And you know what's the funny thing? He's still not the favorite. I believe
he's not
Joshua. No, he's a 2-1 underdog.
Listen, let me tell you something. I heard Holyfield in the interview not long ago talking about the first time he sparred Anthony Joshua. Ruiz. First in that, right? He sparred Ruiz. Ruiz was helping him in camp. And he was like, wow, I never seen a fat guy move that fast. And the dude could actually punch.
Obviously, you haven't seen
when Holyfield found out that he was going to fight Joshua, he was like, oh, this kid is in trouble. Like I said, Ruiz is the more talented fighter. He's a more experienced fighter, and he will always beat Joshua.
But now let me ask you guys. Let's give Joshua the benefit of the doubt. I know, Curtis, you say you're not a fan of him because he quit. Hold on, let's just play devil's advocate here a bit, and let's say that getting a last-minute replacement like Andy Ruiz, do you guys feel that had an effect to his performance on his performance that night on Madison Square Garden?
No. Not at all. He was supposed to fight supposedly a better fighter that night. A fighter that was bigger than Ruiz. About the same height, probably a little taller than Ruiz. Listen, Joshua was in shape. At the end of the day, it don't matter who you step in there with. The person has 2 arms, 2 legs, just like you. It makes no difference. At the end of the day, you're going in there and you're fighting. So
let's stop calling that fight an upset, because Andy Ruiz is a stud. I've been telling people about this kid. I saw him on the undercard of Manny Pacquiao. What's the kid from Long Island, the nutritionist?
Listen, this is Chris Algieri.
Chris Algieri. Let me tell you something. That kid can fight, man. He's a stud, man. Like, at the end of the day, this wasn't an upset. It was an upset for those who believed in a paper champion. I believe after the Klitschko fight, Joshua was never the same. Look at all his fights after that. He's never been the same. He's been knocking out the same guys.
Yeah, he was losing to Povetkin. I remember that fight.
Yeah.
Listen, Joshua, he's good when he's hitting you, he's good. When he's getting tagged, he's not the same fighter. Like you say, he has no heart.
But now let me ask you guys, again, playing devil's advocate. If Joshua wants to win this fight, what does he have to do?
He got to go fight him.
He needed to grow some balls. He needed to grow some balls.
He got to go fight him.
Listen.
Yeah, look, he got to go fight him.
He needs to go in
there.
He got
to go fight him.
And he needs to be a bully. Not let the little man bully you. Be a bully. You're the bigger guy. Show him your power. Show him your strength, he gets in the inside, grab him up, rough him up. If you have to, fight dirty. Basically, show the fans you want to win.
Right.
You know, he just doesn't have it in him.
Now, let me ask you guys, because you guys are saying that Joshua, once he gets hit, he's not the same fighter. He doesn't have
It's like
heart.
a deer in headlights.
Now, let me
like
ask you,
headlights.
he's getting hit with Andy Ruiz, who, is it fair to say that when we compare him to Wilder, he doesn't have that devastating power? What if a fight was to happen with Wilder and Joshua?
Wilder knocked him out in the first round.
It's going to be Dominic Brazil. Dominic Brazil part 2.
Listen, second round, he's out of there.
Dominic Brazil part 2. Hands down.
Well, Anthony Joshua talked to the UK media about his loss in the build-up to this fight.
Nah, the man done what he had to do. He's a good fighter. Like, when we looked at the options of fighters we had after the situation happened with Miller, he was the best one. So it was a bump, a loss in a fight. So nothing changes in terms of how I see him. He's still a great fighter. It's more myself what I have to kind of change.
Well, I mean, again, it goes back to him being in the ring again with someone that he's been in the ring with before. He claims that, nothing's going to change, that he's still going to come out.
No, he's in the ring with a guy that dominated him.
He's a great fighter.
In the ring.
He's a great fighter.
He's
a
great
this
fighter.
guy.
The bloke tried his hardest. Let me tell you something. When you get dominated like that in a fight, it's like you come in doubting yourself. I remember the first time I got an 8 count, I was scared coming into the ring again. Now you just got knocked out. You quit.
Well, let's be fair. He did not get knocked out. He got knocked down, but so did Andy Ruiz in that fight. But Andy Ruiz,
he showed the dog in him.
Andy Ruiz, exactly. He handled it in a much different way than Anthony Joshua.
Listen, Joshua's taking this loss like, oh, I lost. He was a better man. He's accepting defeat, and he's gonna accept defeat again. It's like he's a great fighter. Nah, if I would have lost, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna beat his ass this time. Nah, he don't got that fighter in him. He's soft.
He don't have
that.
He was
he just don't have it in him.
Listen, guess what? He's a clean-cut guy, tall, slender, got a nice body, little fade. He's very marketable.
He better go become a model after this.
He's a paper champion, man. He's a paper champion. He was the biggest paper champion since Buster Douglas. I mean, Buster Douglas actually
Man, listen, he lucky he fought an old Vladimir Klitschko, because if that would have been Vladimir Klitschko a couple years ago, Vladimir would have finished him off.
Now, let me ask you guys. So, say he loses again in this fight. What does that say for his career? Is his career over?
It's not the end. It's
not the end.
He could fight like a King Kong. King Kong probably knock him out too, but he can still make a name for himself. He could probably win another title. But
listen, this is the boxing game, right? This is the boxing game. You know how these promoters do. You lose a couple times, guess what? He's still a marketable guy. He still has a name.
He puts asses on seats.
The next up-and-coming fighter, the next up-and-coming fighter, guess what? He's in there with him.
Listen, he puts asses on seats, so he's always going to be a factor in the heavyweight division.
Now, I'm curious.
He's going to be a status builder.
I'm curious to get your opinions on this. So, say he loses this fight, right? He's basically Eddie Hearn's Canelo. What does that mean for Matchroom Boxing losing basically?
Down goes the zone. It's over, Jeff.
The zone is going to go back to just putting YouTube fighters to fight.
So you think that a loss against Ruiz again will have that much of an impact on the zone and the Matchroom?
Besides that, all they have is Canelo. They don't have
PBC will end up with all the belts.
Yeah, look,
Al Heyman's going to be sitting back laughing.
PBC boxing becomes the biggest superpower in boxing, controlling the heavyweight division, and Deontay Wilder will be undisputed heavyweight champion of the world before next year is over.
Now, Curtis, how do you feel about this? Joshua says that when he wins, he will be like, fuck everybody.
After he loses, I'm going to be like, fuck him.
Listen, he will have to, let me tell you something. To earn my respect back, even though I'm just a small guy from Brooklyn, he will have to knock Ruiz out, knock Fury out, knock Wilder out, go back in time, knock Mike Tyson out. He got to knock everybody out. He's a game respect. You quit, bro. That means you got hole in you, bro. Listen, he got hole in him. He remember back in the days, 34th Street, all the prostitutes used to be out there.
Oh,
he was at home. He's a hoe for sure. I have no respect for him. He quit.
Listen, he's not gonna win over the American people. I'll tell you that right
He
now.
is not the Nigerian warrior I thought he was.
You know who's our champion is Deontay Wilder. That's who we like. People that go in there, talk shit, knock people